I hope I'm not like yelling at you and stuff. I'm not very good at this, Harrison. I don't really do videos. And I'm going to put this on YouTube so other people might see it too. How embarrassing. Okay, so we're going to put our legs down. And we've gone back to our wire. So I'm going to get another piece, stretch it out as long as my arm, hanging on to the pokey, pointy, sharp end so we don't poke anybody. We're going to bring the wire back in to our fingers so we have pokey end in our fingers again. And we're going to cut. And now we have our 2 strands that are joined at the other end like this. And I think it's just helpful initially to just put a couple of twists in to kind of make them one piece of wire. Now I have let go of that sharp end in order to do this, but that's okay. The sharp end thing is mainly because I do a lot of my stuff sitting on the couch next to Matt, and I'll poke him in the eye, or I'll like flick his drink, or the dogs will grab it. Okay, so now it's more like it's one piece because it's just got a couple of twists in it just to help hold it together. Okay, so what we're going to do, remember I said we kind of think about the body as like legs are 2 long rectangles. Your bum is like an oval or 2 circles. The torso is sort of, if you're making a girl, it's maybe a rectangle. If you're making a guy, guys tend to have broader shoulders, so it might be more of like an upside down triangle. And then the head is just another circle. Neck is like an itty bitty rectangle. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we're going to pick up our legs, and I'm just going to, remember I said we always get rid of these pointy bits first. So we're going to use the end that still has 2 pieces, and we're just going to wrap that around so that now we're attached. Okay, so see my 2 pointy pieces, they're only little, but just to help you get into the habit of just kind of folding them to one side so that you don't poke yourself in the hands too often. Okay, so I've gone for sort of, sorry, I'm just trying to move the camera a bit. I've gone to just the middle of the legs. Okay, so then I'm gonna go, I reckon she's gonna be about, I make girls. You'll probably end up making boys just because you're a boy. So I'm gonna go, girls have really narrow shoulders. And so this is where it's really good to kind of look at drawings of people and stuff as well, because you really have to kind of learn about the human anatomy. So girls are usually sort of narrower in the shoulder and wider in the hips, and boys are usually wider in the shoulders and narrower in the hips. Okay, so she's only quite narrow here, and I'm not worrying about the hips just yet. So I've made that loop, coming back down to where the wire's joined onto the legs, and I'm just going to do a little twist. Okay, so it's kind of a bit weird at the moment. This is where you should be. Hello, puppies. Bailey, leave Loki alone. Okay, so I've got this bit hanging out the back. So what I'm going to do, because her body isn't going to look like this, we need something here as well. So I'm just going to go back again. I'm going to move over on the legs a little bit, so I've gone upside down. And I'm just going to wrap it like 1 centimeter to the other side. Okay. That makes sense. And then I don't really want to make her shoulders, they could be a little bit wider, and we'll get to that. Okay, but what I'm really trying to do is get like a long rectangle sort of thing for her body. So I'm just going to go back up to the top of the torso where her shoulders are, and I'm just going to kind of feed that through just so that we've tied it off. So we have a little bit more of a, like legs and a body now. Okay, so now we can kind of look at it and go, okay, she's going to have to be a bit wider in the hips. So I can kind of just pull the wire out a little bit here. So see, it's kind of like a pear almost. Okay, and that slipped down, but that's okay, we can fix it. So she's going to be a bit wider in the hips, and then we're going to keep her narrow in the shoulder. Okay, so see how this has slid down a bit? So we want her shoulder to be up the top next to her neck, because that's where they belong, right? So I'm just feeding that back through so that it's up at the top. And then this is going to come out and be her arm. I hope you can see it okay. So it's a really long arm at the moment, crazy long. So I'm just going to bend it back on itself, because usually, like even if you stand up and put your arm down, your wrist is kind of normally at about your waist or hip, and then we have to add a hand. So a lot of mine end up with really long arms because I forget that you have to add a hand to it. So even if you make it a little bit shorter, that's okay, because when we attach the hand, we can add a little bit more to the arm. So I might even go a little bit shorter than I am at the moment, because at the moment it's like right at the bottom of her hips. So I'm just going to bring that bend up a little bit higher. Okay, just give it a little squeeze. And then our wire is back up to the top of the shoulder again. And we're just going to do a little wrap around just to get rid of it. Okay. So now we have two legs. We have a bit of a, I don't know, potato pear looking body. And we have an arm out. Okay. So we're just going to add the other arm on there. So I'm just going to put her down, pick up my wire again, hang on to my pointy end, stretch it out. You probably don't need as much this time, but that's okay. Good practice. Bring it back in, cut it off, and I keep my two loose ends in my hand. And we have our two pieces. So we're going to do a couple of little twists just to help remind us that even though it kind of looks like two pieces, it's really just one. So I'm just doing a really loose, like wrap one around the other. Blah, maybe. Okay. So we've got quite a long piece now, and that's okay, because you can never have too much wire. So we're going to go with the end that has the two, blah. Gosh, I hope you can see this okay. The two bits, we're going to go to where we want the arm to connect, up at the neck, and we're going to just twist around. Now you might have to use pliers to do that like little twist around, depending on how your hands are going. I'm just so used to it now. Okay, so we have our body, we have this huge piece of wire hanging around. So we're going to try and match the arm. Doesn't have to be perfect, because remember, we can always add. It's kind of easier to add than it is to take away, I guess. So I'm just going to bend it back on itself. Give it a little squeeze. And maybe let's just put a little twist in it, because now we've got like 4 wires that are separate. So we'll just put a little twist in it so that they look like they're kind of all together. And that's our other arm. And now we've got lots of wire left. So again, we're just going to feed it through the body. Just to see how we've got this happening with the arm. So we're just going to feed it through the body a little bit. And it's not easy to do. It takes a little bit of a minute. But all we're trying to do is like lock it off so that that arm stays in place. So we might have to go through twice here. So I'm going to go through twice. So what that means, my arm's kind of got stuck in there. So we'll just pull that arm back out. I've still got lots of wire left over, that's okay. And so now we have kind of our little stick man without a head. Okay, so this extra wire that I've got left, I'm just gonna, I don't really want to do the neck just yet. So I'm just gonna bring this wire down, and we're just gonna do a fairly firm sort of loop. Okay, so remember how we do like loose loops and firm loops? So I'm just gonna come around, and I'm trying to keep it pretty tight into the body, because I don't really know where I want to add my bulk just yet. Okay, and so we've got a loose bit in the middle, and that's okay. So now we have the start of our little person. So I'm going to end that video here, because you'll probably have to, you might have to stop and replay it a little bit, or see how you go with it. And I was going to make the dog say hello to you, but they've disappeared. So I'll leave it there for now, and I hope that helps, Harrison. Have fun and take your time. There's no rush. Okay, bye.